So Unit 4 then of the Level 3 Lead Adult Care Worker Diploma is Duty of Care. Now it's a complete knowledge unit, which means you can achieve this in full by doing some written work, some answer to some set questions, some assignments. There's no observation involved, so as I said, it's a full knowledge unit. So for 1.1 then, a Unit 4, Duty of Care, you have to explain what it means to have a duty of care in your own work role. So at Level 2, you've probably given a definition of what duty of care is. For Level 3, you have to explain by telling me, discussing, telling me how you provide a duty of care in your work role. So give examples of what you do each day to provide a duty of care in your own work setting. For 1.2, you have to explain how duty of care relates to duty of candour. So what you need to do is get your duty of care policy and your duty of candour policy, have a look at them, have a good read, examine them, and then look at the similarities between them. What is duty of care and what is duty of candour, and compare the two and explain how they relate and work quite closely with one another. So we know that duty of care is working in that best interest of an individual, and duty of candour is about being open and transparent about things that's going wrong. So together they work quite well in order to provide a duty of care and to safeguard that individual. So look at both policies, compare the two, and explain the relationship between duty of care and duty of candour. 1.3 is asking you to again explain how duty of care contributes to that safeguarding and protecting of that individual. So we've already discovered that safeguarding is about working in partnership with that individual to protect them from any harm or any abuse. Duty of care is about working in that individual's best interest to prevent that from occurring, doing what's right for that individual, upholding their individual rights, maintaining dignity and respect, working and complying with safe practices. So if we're doing all that, it contributes to that safeguarding of that individual from any potential harm, from any risks, from any injury, because we're doing what's right. We're doing what's in that best interest of that individual. So for this assessment criteria, look at duty of care and how it works quite closely with safeguarding of an individual, and what duty of care's intention is in order to safeguard and protect individuals from harm and abuse. For 2.1, you're asked to describe conflicts and dilemmas that may occur between an individual's rights and that duty of care. So at Level 2, you would have looked at sort of dilemmas that may occur. But at Level 3, you now need to look at conflict within the team, conflict between individuals, conflict between family members perhaps, and look at how you manage that. Give examples or describe what may occur, what conflict or dilemmas may occur in your work setting, and tell me how you'd manage that. (2.3) asks you to explain where to get additional support from for managing conflicts and dilemmas. Now, a lot of people tend to, within their answer, just write about people that they can actually go to and speak to, such as the senior carer, the line manager, the home manager, the facility manager, wherever they may be working. But there's also internal work products that you can read and look at for information, advice and guidance. You may have a conflict management policy. You may have a managing dilemmas policy or procedure that tells you and explains to you what to do in the event that you come across that particular dilemma or conflict. The individual's care plans are a great work product that we can read that'll tell you how to address the dilemma, what we can do to diffuse that situation, strategies that might be in place to prevent it from occurring. So think not only about people, what work products or what records, what documents can we read to allow us to manage that conflict or that dilemma professionally. To finish this unit then, 3.1 and 3.2 ask you to describe how to respond to complaints and then explain the procedure to follow in responding to complaints. So what you need to do is get your internal policy and procedure on complaint handling, or concerns or suggestions, whatever it may be, have a look at that policy, have a good read through it, and then tell me or describe to me how you'd respond to that a complaint, what procedure your employer is expecting you to follow, and then explain to me the procedure you'd expect anyone else to follow. So if someone else wanted to complain, how would they do it? What would you ask them to complete? I need to know you understand the procedure for raising complaints within the workplace.